All right, guys, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Going to be going over the Thursday night showdown picks here. Okay, we got the Super Bowl champs going against the Buffalo Bills, two of the best teams in the league. And this should be a very fun, exciting Thursday night football game. Just looking at it right now, the Buffalo Bills are actually favored to win by 2.5 points. Kind of shocking there, given that the defending champs are playing in this game, but obviously, both teams are pretty good. The over and under for this game is huge. It's set at 52.5 right now, which honestly, I could see that going both ways. Both offenses are great, we know that, but both defenses are great as well. Given that it's the first game of the NFL season, and neither of the starters for these teams really went out and played during the preseason, I could see it kind of being sloppy. Now, does that mean sloppy in the sense that the defenses really dominate, or does it mean sloppy in the sense that the offenses dominate? We don't know. So we're going to make our best educated guesses, but that's kind of the problem with week one with these teams that just didn't play in the preseason. A lot of the starters are getting their first, NFL games in right now, their first live reps in now. Now, yes, I know a lot of teams have scrimmages and whatnot, but, it's just not the same mentally and whatnot. So we could have some surprise results, but there are some plays here that I really like, and we'll get into those right now. All right, so touching on it, guys, just some newsworthy stuff. Kind of just looking at like star cornerback Tre'Davious White for the Buffalo Bills is going to be out on this one. So you got Dane Jackson filling in for him. They got a rookie corner, Aleem there. Tyron Johnson, more of a slot corner there. All pretty good players. And then obviously the Buffalo Bills safeties are some of the best in the league. Just looking at the Rams side of the ball, they replaced Von Miller, who is actually now with the Bills, with Bobby Wagner, essentially there. And then they replaced OBJ with Allen Robinson, which to me, I see that as a slight upgrade. We got to wait and see on the news on Van Jefferson if he is going to play. And then just looking at Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson, they are both expected to play. And then just real quickly on the Buffalo Bills as well. Obviously, Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, if healthy, they're kind of elevated to more playing time. Okay, now that Cole Beasley's out and whatnot. So now let's get into it here, guys. I'm going to start off with the Buffalo Bills and kind of just break it down how I see fit. So looking at the Buffalo Bills, yes, you could easily play Josh Allen. We know Josh Allen really dominated throughout the whole season. Is he going to get 20 DK points? Probably. But at the same time, it is tough to pay up for him, regardless of if you're playing him in the flex or if you're playing him in the captain spot. 12K is a lot, okay? And like I said, it wouldn't shock me if someone like Josh Allen has a mediocre game in this one. Just one, getting those live reps in for the first week. And two, this is an insanely tough matchup. Okay, maybe the continuity for the LA Rams is not as much. Okay, because their team had a lot of turnover, and that's probably why the Bills are favored. And obviously, Josh Allen, his weapons are good. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. But if you play Josh Allen, you're kind of capping your lineup there, and I'll kind of show you guys what I mean. So we can play him in there. Personally, I think the Rams are obviously going to try to scheme Stephon Diggs out of this game. Can they do that? Maybe. I mean, we saw in the postseason, teams basically did that. Okay. And then as a result, it ended up being Gabe Davis scoring a bunch of touchdowns, obviously mostly in one game. And then Devin Singletary just took off last year. Okay. And I actually really like Devin Singletary. If you're looking at the betting market, I really like him to score an anytime TD at plus 140. And then if you think the Bills are going to win like I do, you could also bet Devin Singletary anytime TD plus Bills win at plus 280. I really like that bet there. So Devin Singletary, obviously throughout the year last year, he really just dominated. So we can see 14.9 DK points was his worst point total from week 14 to week 20. That was awesome. And from week 15 to week 20, he scored a touchdown in all 6 games. Phenomenal stuff there from him. And I think they kind of found out last year, and I don't think this is going to change. It could, because Zach Moss looked good. Obviously, they brought in James Cook, but I think Devin Singletary is going to be, I don't want to say a focal part of that offense, but he really stepped up and looked good last year. I don't see them going away from that, at least for now. Maybe a couple games into the season, they go with the hot hand approach, but Devin Singletary is going to be the player that obviously gets the most work right away. So showdown-wise, we know it's all about trying to find value. If we want to play Gabe Davis or Stephon Diggs, we can. Okay, I'm perfectly fine with that. But to me, it kind of seems like Jamison Crowder or Isaiah McKenzie are going to be the go-to value. Now, personally, I like Isaiah McKenzie a little bit better if he's going to play. It kind of doesn't seem like he is going to be available, though, which worries me. If he is available, great value on the slate. I think he's going to be able to at least 2x at this price point. Obviously, that doesn't take much. You could get 2 catches, 2 short dump offs, and pretty much be at value. Jamison Crowder, though, if Isaiah McKenzie says, is going to be a pretty solid value play. Like, he could easily get like 6 targets in this one for 4 receptions and 30 yards, kind of pay off his price point there at $5K. It's a little bit priced up, and that's why I need to have Isaiah McKenzie out in order to play this one. It really would not shock me if like Dawson Knox scores a touchdown, but he is priced up a little bit. I don't think we need to do the guessing game on Zach Moss or James Cook. I don't want to do that. And really, for me, I don't mind Tyler Bass as well. Like, I think this game could be a little bit sloppy, and I think that could lead to Tyler Bass getting some more kicks. Now, I know that was more of a preseason DFS thing, but, I could see a path where he works out. So let's just try to make this, like, Buffalo Bills lineup complete here. So let's go Jamison Crowder. Let's put Gabe Davis in there, and, like, it's kind of working there. Kind of. And then maybe we'd run it back with like an LA Rams player. Like, you could make this work for the most part. Maybe you go Devin Singletary there or Gabe Davis in the captain spot. Like, that could work. Okay. So now we're going to flip over and go into the Rams. So the Rams, you got Cooper Kupp there going against the best secondary in the league. And I would say, that's pretty accurate. Obviously, Cooper Kupp was targeted a ton. I don't think we really have to worry about matchups too much. The Rams move their receivers around a lot. And obviously, Cooper Kupp just had a legendary season last year. Is he going to have that again this year? Most likely not. We know that. But the consistency should be there for him. Is it a lot to pay up for him? It is. Okay, and that's kind of where I struggle with. Like, I could see this easily being like a breakout game for Allen Robinson after having a terrible year last year. We saw OBJ last year come in and really have a stellar season. I could easily see that happen with Allen Robinson in this one. We do really have to wait and see on if Van Jefferson is going to play in this one, because if he does play, we know he's their deep ball threat. We know he can get open down the field, and he'd be a pretty nice option. If he does sit, there is some potential value. Showronek here, Ben Showronek here, probably didn't say that right. He had been sitting out the whole preseason, okay? And that tells me that Sean McVay was being very cautious here, because they do see him as someone that's going to be a playmaker for them this season. Okay, we saw in the preseason they're very hesitant to play anyone that would play any significant snaps this season. So the fact that he was sitting out kind of is a tell for us. It's a tell for us that if Van Jefferson sits, he'd be a great value for us. And right now I am kind of leaning towards Van Jefferson sitting, so you can easily put him into a value spot, and then we have a lot left over to pay it for a captain play. Now, do you want to play Matthew Stafford? You could. I really don't mind it. He was very consistent last year. Do I think he's going to score 2 touchdowns in this one? Probably. He could easily get picked off once or twice, and this offense could maybe be stagnant for a little bit of it. We just don't really know. The one play that I do love really the most on this slate, just given the price discrepancies, you look at Cam Akers at 8K, you got Darrell Henderson at 4.8K. Guys, these are expected to be 1A and 1B. And we've seen Darrell Henderson, when he is active and healthy, this guy looks really good. The thing with Henderson, and they corrected this on the full slate, by the way, like they're only $400 difference, because those salaries came out like 2 weeks later. They came out like yesterday. These salaries have been out for like 2 weeks. Darrell Henderson, like, one, he's expected to be active, but like the thing with him is like you just worry about the workload with him. It's not a talent thing. You just know that if you give him too big of a workload, he's eventually going to get injured or eventually going to get hindered by some sort of injury. Is he going to get 12 touches in this game? Most likely. Okay. And if he does at this price point, that is way too cheap. I could easily see him scoring a touchdown as well. Cam Akers, after that Achilles injury, just did not look the same. And sure, he's had a full offseason to recover now. But I think we just need to take advantage of this pricing discrepancy here. Okay, so let's just put, I actually like Devin Singletary a decent amount. I'm going to put Devin Singletary in the captain spot, just to kind of show you guys a look for the build. Nope, that's Gabe Davis. And then we can fit Henderson in there comfortably. So we got a lot of room left over here. So do we have to play Showronek? No, we don't. We could easily play anyone else that we want to. Okay, so we can kind of get a solid build going with the players that we want to be on. Do you have to go Jamison Crowder? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you could easily just pay up for, let's do it. Diggs. You got Allen Robinson there. Like, that is a pretty solid build there as well. Obviously, that's skewed more towards the Buffalo Bills there. I do expect them to win. But that's just kind of like the lineup path you can go with. You do want to fit probably Cooper Kupp in there, so you could easily do that as well. I'm just kind of showing you guys the path to kind of set this up the way you guys could see fit. James Cook, Showerneck, and this would be a unique build. You could easily go with this as well. So obviously it's still early. I'm releasing this on Saturday before the even week 1 kind of kicks off. So things can change. And maybe if they do, I will make another video for you guys. But at least right now, we have a good base to go off of. But that's all I have for you guys for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give me a like and subscribe. That does help out the channel a lot. All right, thanks for watching, guys. And as always, let's keep cashing.